So guys, we did it. We reached 500 subscribers. Honestly, I've been sitting here just in Audacity for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how I'm going to record this intro because I'm not on a script this time. Usually I am on a script, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. It really just means the world to me. I know it's cliche, but I never really expected to even reach like 100 subscribers, let alone 500, so it means the world, and I really do just appreciate you all. With that being said, I decided to announce a 500 subscriber Q&A, and you guys came through with some questions, so I'm gonna answer them. Also, keep in mind that I'm not on a script right now, so if I stumble, mumble, and fumble my words, it's all just part of my stutter, so please excuse me. With that being said, here are your questions from oldest to newest. Don Dev Red, oh hey, I know that guy, asks, I'm curious, how in the hell did you find out about that game Ethnic Cleansing for that video? Ethnic Cleansing has just been one of those games that I've always just kind of known about. I think I remember seeing it in one of those like top 10 freakiest video games ever known to man gone sexual YouTube videos when I was like, I don't know, like 14 or so. So it's just kind of always been a game that I've known about, and I always kind of felt like doing some more research on it, like figuring out where the game came from, why it was made, and so I made a YouTube video about it, and that's basically the story. Sorry I can't really find the patient zero of this racist video game, but it's just really hard to remember that kind of stuff. Canadian Samurai asks, would you ever marathon the N64 ports of Tony Hawk 1 through 3? Maybe if I ever started live streaming, I could do a marathon of the games, but currently now I don't really think the N64 ports of the games are that interesting to really do a video on. Maybe the N64 port of Tony Hawk 3 because it was like the last game released on the console, but other than that, I don't really see me doing a marathon of it anytime soon. A Man Bunch of Letters asks, consider the following, pregnant man emoji. Would you? Jokes aside, have you ever considered streaming? I hear multi-streaming to both Twitch and YouTube is what all the creators are doing these days. Currently, I really don't have a consistent way of doing streaming. I have way too many people living in this godforsaken house, and they can always just interrupt me at any time, and I don't really want that. Plus, I am not very good at improv. So there's that. So currently I don't really have any plans to start streaming, but maybe in the future I could stream here on YouTube. I do have some pretty goofy stream ideas that I could definitely do in the future. Blado Potato asks, what's your opinion on Tony Hawk 3+4 leaving behind 4's career mode for its classic 2-minute timer? Also, congrats on hitting 500 subs. Thanks, Blade, I really appreciate it. Tony Hawk 3 and 4 are very interesting games for me. Obviously, I've played Tony Hawk 3 a shit ton when I was growing up, and it's actually the first video game I ever played, so I'm really excited for that section of the game. But for Tony Hawk 4, leaving behind its career mode, I personally feel indifferent to it. It's not really that big of a deal to me, although I can definitely see why it is to other people. Tony Hawk 4 has such a unique career mode, so I definitely think that it's going to take some time by Iron Galaxy in order to actually, turn it into a classic mode, but I think that they could actually do it. I think some levels like College, Kona, and Zoo could actually work really well for like a classic structure. Then you have levels like Alcatraz that could completely fuck it up and just make it into a terrible experience. So I definitely think it's going to take some work for them to actually, do it properly and actually, make it make sense with the level design that they currently are going to be able to work with. So there's that. Plus, I actually think it'll give Tony Hawk 4 an entirely new experience and make it feel a lot more fresh. So yeah, thanks for your question, Blade. Use the Brakes asks, would you rather have $1 or $2? This is a very difficult question to answer because $1 and $2 are very far apart, so I think that maybe I would take $2, but if given the opportunity, I think $1 would also be suffice. But if you were giving me $2 in quarters, I would have to decline. But if you were giving me $1 in dimes, I would have to accept. So hope that answers your question. That Force Field guy asks, what game franchise do you think you could marathon for another milestone? This goes back to Canadian Samurai's question, but I would probably have to do a live stream in order to do a milestone, which, I can't really do at the moment. But if I was to do like a marathon video, like playing every single game in one video, it would probably have to be like Pokemon. I actually really enjoy Pokemon, and it would be a very interesting game to just marathon start to finish because, the early games were actually really good, and then after X and Y, they got really bad, so I would be in a lot of jubilation for the first half and then just a lot of terribleness for the second half, so I think that would be a pretty interesting video to do, like how these games changed and how they, succeeded and how they're failing right now, especially with ZA coming out pretty soon. That would be a pretty interesting video idea. Our last set of questions comes from Trevzillionaire with 5 of them. Question number 1, Guilty Gear video win. I've always wanted to do a video on Guilty Gear because it's such an interesting game franchise that not a lot of people know about. I have a couple ideas in mind, but I probably wouldn't want to share them here because I can definitely see myself making a video of them in the future, so there's that. Question number 2, what are other types of genres of games you'd like to do at some point? And could you name one game from each genre you list that you'd want to make a video on? I've always been a big fan of immersive sims, so I could definitely do a game on something like Cruelty Squad or the new Psycho Patrol R game that just came out, since those are really fun. Plus something like Dishonored, Dishonored 2, and Deus Ex would be pretty fun to make, although I'd have to play those games more. Another game genre I'd really want to play more of are turn-based RPGs. Usually I find turn-based RPGs to be some of the most boring video games I've ever played, but some games like Persona actually really interest me, and I would love to play more of those games. Question number 3, have you ever wanted to be DeBaby? No, because I don't want to peak in 2022 and then fall off for the rest of time. Question 4, any games that have caught your interest this year? Oh boy, 2025 has been shaping up to be a very great year for gaming, so yes, there are plenty of games that have caught my interest this year. Obviously, I'm really excited for the new Tony Hawk game coming out, which is going to be a really interesting game for me to play, and I'm definitely going to review it on the channel. Then Psycho Patrol R just came out recently. That's a fun game that I've been playing recently. I've also never really talked about this much on the channel, but I'm really excited for the new Fatal Fury City of the Wolves game coming out. I'm a pretty big fan of fighting games, so there's that. And then you got Doom and Pokemon Legends ZA, so that's going to be really fun to play, and I'm really excited for all these games coming out. So thanks for your question. Oh wait, he's got one more. Question number 5.
Have you ever farted a little too hard and poo-poo comes out of your boot?
Not really, no. So those are all your guys' questions. I just want to say once again, thank you so much for 500 subscribers. It really means the world to me. When I first started this YouTube channel, I never even think that I would reach like 100 subscribers, let alone 500. So thank you so much. More content is definitely on the way. And with that being said, my name is Birbus, and thank you for watching.